Welcome to the 3Gs, the podcast where we dive into the world of fitness from three unique angles on three generations as we bridge the generation gap, explore diverse perspectives, and unravel the secrets of staying fit.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3Gs Fitness Podcast. I'm Coach Cisco.
I'm Coach Michael.
And I'm Coach Kyle.
And today we have three beautiful, young, precious, beautiful men in front of you guys for your listening, visual pleasures. But one of the things that I want to really touch base on today and talk with you fellas is about men's mental health and raise some awareness into that and also incorporate it on how being involved in the gym, fitness world can help us out with that. Now, one of the things that it's very common that we probably may see is that men don't really express themselves that often. Men don't share that many things that often. And I want you, Mike, to help us elaborate on why do you think that is?
It's more of a sensitivity thing. Mm-hmm. It makes them feel like, they're vulnerable, they're soft, and, they don't like to talk about it. And it's a big problem, especially amongst high athletes. They go through a whole stress thing because of losing, because not being able to perform. They want to perform the way, they can't perform the way they want to. And by that, it puts a mental stress on them. And they go through a depression process, which really tends to bring them down. Mm-hmm, and so getting in the gym brings you around a lot of people. It makes you able to socialize with a lot of people, which can kind of bring you out of that depression mode, but it's not always the fix for it, So, I think men go through this depression thing and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to express themselves, and it's a problem.
Because there's kind of like a stigma behind it, right? Like a man should be a leader, and should be like not being emotional and stuff. So it's very, people are against it. But nowadays there's definitely more, they kind of allow that a little bit more, right? Because like you said, there's more awareness now of men's mental health. So
it's a big thing now. I'd probably say since 2021, it's probably been about 22.8% of a problem in mental health. It's just not athletes nowadays. It's going through a job problem, going through family problems of not being able to, produce like they need to. And they go through a stage of mental depression. They go through a stage of just being tired and burned out.
Yeah. Because they bottle up all their feelings, right?
Yeah,
so the gym would...
Right.
The one thing that I liked about what you said about the gym is that it kind of pushes you into an environment that's probably more positive and uplifting.
For sure.
Because think about it, if people are depressed and whatnot, I mean, what's the most common thing that you might hear? They probably go to alcohol, or they probably use
a negative outlet versus a positive outlet, like a gym.
Yeah. So the outlet of the gym, I think, is super important.
Of course.
And I think it's just one of those things that I feel that, it's everyone's got a lot going on. And I love you said that was in 2021.
Yeah.
What's right after the pandemic, pretty much.
It was right around the pandemic when a lot of depression started hitting everybody, because of the loss of their job.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Not being able to, pay their bills. Mm-hmm. That will drive somebody to that.
So, and that's one thing is when you've seen people depressed, probably there's also the food outlet of they probably start stress eating, stress drinking, they really have no energy to move or anything like that. So I think while people are going through like depression or anything like that, the negative effects that it has could be weight gain. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all come across somebody, a fellow brotherhood of maybe a family member where something depressing has happened to them and they disappear. They go MIA for a little bit. Next time you see them, they blown up. And that's one of those things that I feel that it's very common. I've seen it with great friends of mine. I've seen it in family members where it's like, they don't have any energy to do anything. They don't, and it's like it's very difficult because I've personally helped with one of my friends, and it's hard. I sometimes I feel like I can't get through them, and I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard to. That's why we have psychologists and therapists and stuff
And personal trainers.
to get them through, and personal trainers. But sometimes it gets pretty bad.
Right, right.
I had somebody I knew who took their life because of the whole depression thing, and she worked out and did a lot of things in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes things happen in life that it's hard to overcome it.
Yeah.
And I like what you said though right now, Kyle. Is we're all trainers here, and I feel like we've all shared something with a client in our years of experience. Now you said therapist, and then you also said trainer. Can you more elaborate on what do you mean by like just being a trainer and being there for somebody?
Well, I've kind of said this in my social media before, where it's like we can't force people to change, right? But we can kind of create that environment for them to change and make it a really positive place for them to want to change, right? And obviously our support with them is going to help them, like the buddy system. It's like if they're feeling down and out, of course we're going to be like, nah, dude, like look at the bright side, look at the glass half full and count your blessings, all that stuff. So having a trainer just being by your side will help you, fight your battles better.
Yeah. And I think also is when you see that as a trainer, one of the good things is what I personally do with a lot of my clients, when I can tell there's something going on in their life, maybe they have a family death, maybe a loss of a job. If they're still coming in, at least that hour that I have with them, we can control that hour for them to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes it's just that's what an individual needs during the dark times is like we need to probably set them up and give them something where they can succeed and benefit and like just actually better themselves. So I always say this with a lot of my clients. I'm like, as long as you leave my session better than how you came in, we won. And I think that's how we progress and get forward with it and whatnot, because I've dealt with many clients that, man, if you're depressed, that doesn't go away in a week. It doesn't. It takes months to even years. It comes and goes in waves. So one of the ways that I always make sure is that, all of us, we all work together. I'm always constantly talking to my clients. I'm always constantly moving my clients, but also talking to them, distracting them from the workout, and also just making, like how you said, making some positive reinforcements, bringing a positive environment.
Right.
And I feel like that's super important to have because yes, therapy will help and whatnot, but I feel like what helps more is movement.
Action. Right. Instead of just speaking about your feelings. Speaking about your feelings is good, right? It's better than bottling it up, right?
But imagine you like how, like Mike, whenever you deadlift and you deadlift 400 plus pounds, how does that make you feel?
No, you really don't want me to tell you that. It makes me feel
good.
It doesn't make me feel good because that's a disappointment to me because my goal is higher. So
okay, you max out. All right, you max out at 500.
500. Then I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm
all right, can we keep it to the topic of mental health and?
Mike,
I am.
You mean to tell me that anytime you lift, you don't
Just
feel
ruin
good?
the flow, man.
Yeah. Like you never done a lift and it made you feel good.
Ask me instead.
Nah, all right.
I can't really
Kyle. What's your max bench?
I'm not going to talk about it.
All right. Well,
but if I hit a PR, I feel great, man.
You feel great, right?
I feel accomplished. I feel productive.
Yes.
I feel great.
Yes. And now, so now when you're moving and you're accomplishing something that you haven't accomplished, your endorphins are kicking in. Jeez, Michael.
Endorphins, that's a good one right there.
Oh, you all of a sudden you know what endorphins are?
But that accomplishment brings about a good change.
I do a PR and I get mad. That's the opposite of endorphins.
Again, he's the 1%er. He's the 1%er.
I don't get depressed.
No, that's good, and that not everybody does, right?
I don't get depressed.
But like anymore. I said, we want to.
Well, hold on. He said not anymore.
Not anymore.
What do you mean by that?
A while back, man, I would, but not anymore. Now it's just.
So when you were, what were like some outlets that you had?
When I just come in and train harder.
Right, exactly. You'd go into the gym to make yourself feel better.
Just train harder.
Yes.
Train harder.
Exactly.
That's exactly the point that we're talking about. Okay. So you feel better after going to the gym and doing something for yourself that's positive.
Exactly. And that's what we were trying to correlate. Moving things around, action. And like I said, don't be scared to talk about your feelings. You have no idea how many sessions I've had in my career where clients come in 10 minutes into the workout, tears come out.
Let it out. Yep, exactly.
Male and female. It's not just it's anybody.
Right.
And it's like, all right, cool. You know, let it out.
Exactly.
Let it out. And that's one of those things where it's like, all right, cool. Now those negative issues are out. All right, cool. Now we're gonna go bench. We're gonna go. Last week you gave me 135 on the bench. You're gonna go for 145. You're gonna channel in those emotions,
right,
and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna like really push to help you get better.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, after about 50 minutes, those emotions that they came in with went out. They literally channeled in all that energy to work out better.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
it's one of those things where it's like, hey, if we're gonna and maybe it's some of those things that they can't really lift. Modify the workout to make them better, but
Right,
channel in
right.
that emotional energy that they're coming in, whether it's negative or anything like that, or positive, but really push it to like, all right, let's work out. Let's go do something that we haven't done in a while.
Right.
And let's see how much stronger you've gotten.
Yeah.
Because I really think that's important, man. Like you got to make sure that while they're working out, they feel it too.
Yeah,
You got to almost like replace that negative feeling that they walked in with was a positive physical feeling that they're accomplishing.
Right.
And I think that is super important to like really pursue when it comes to personal training too. You know, don't be scared to like, all right, let your clients have their moment.
Yeah.
And then now that you had your moment, good. Let's go back into this. Let's go back into these squats. Let's go back into these deads. Let's go back into these bench and watch how they get better. And then not just that, you just did something for your client that probably no one has done for them. You've made them feel better recently.
Right.
You know?
Like we know they can feel better after just one session.
Yeah.
Imagine 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? What are some other benefits that the gym can provide for someone in terms of mental health? The list goes on.
Yeah.
Right? We have mental toughness, resilience, patience, self-confidence, right?
I was about to
the
say
boost
loving
of your
yourself.
self-esteem. Like
Yeah.
there's so many benefits that come from it of just like going to the gym.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that like I feel that it's as men, it's like we can't be shying away from it either or anything like that. So and sometimes it's one of those where, you know, this might be more you said yourself.
No. I agree because
Okay.
sometimes you come into the gym and you're stressed out,
Yes.
and man, you go in there and just hit that iron, boom,
Stress
you feel
release.
good,
Stress
you know?
release.
Stress relief.
I got no problem. You know that's a given right there.
See,
You know when sometimes you have a bad day,
Just want to
And
throw
you're
some shit
stressed.
around in the gym.
what do? You go to the gym and you just knock it out.
see, Mike, that's a given to you, but that's not a given. It's
Right.
like, yeah. To you, that's a given to you. It's all like, but that's why
Because you know the
But I,
value
I
of
think
it.
it works with a lot of people.
a
A lot of people have a hard day at work. They come in and they work out hard. They
Yes.
train hard, and they feel good.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, girl, get it. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
And see, and that's one thing that we want to make sure is that like when you're having those stressful days, those stressful times, a good workout can just help make that easier for you. Like you said, it helps relieve a lot of things. And one of the things is, like I said, going back to the outlets. You know, if you have a stressful time, do you really want to go to an outlet to drink alcohol? Do you really want to go into an outlet and maybe be an emotional eater? Yeah, they're easy, right? But how much more beneficial is it going to be to go get a hard workout in when you're stressed, when you're not feeling it? That's just going to benefit you in more ways than one. And so that's one thing that I feel that, you know, as you can tell, I love this topic. I've been doing this job for over 15 years. One of the biggest compliments I can get from clients is, Cisco, you're better than my therapist.
I've heard that one before too. Yeah, for
And
sure.
So, and that's one thing I always tell them and be like, look, thank you for saying that. I'm not in that profession. I just want to make sure you just leave better. You know,
right.
I'm not here to correct you or what you have going on there. I'm just here to help you out and be by your side for this next hour of exercising. But if it's going to benefit and take you to another like level of, you know, positivity, that's just a bonus on my end.
Yeah. Because most people who are feeling down, what do they say? They always feel like they're stuck. So going to the gym and doing something different will just bring about that positive change.
Well, when you're down, it's just you versus you at that point, right? You know, if you're feeling down and depressed, it's literally you versus you. What are you going to do to help yourself get better?
Yeah. But that's also like a mental thing perspective because people who are down feel like everybody is against them. Everybody
That's true.
against me.
That's true.
You know?
When people are
So they
down,
gotta change, like, how they
think
think.
the whole world's against them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as a trainer, you know, we have to find a way to get them out of that rut.
Exactly.
It's not,
Exactly.
and that's not really that easy.
It's not.
But you have so many different ways of training. It could be cardio, it could be weightlifting, it could be circuit training. It could be different methods you can use to get them to get it off their mind.
Right. Just keep
You
them
know,
productive.
And
keep
if
them productive.
if they're exhausted and they're tired and they just think about going home and getting rest, you take that little time away from them to get them, back on, try to help them get back on track.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what's, like I said, Mike, you said you used to get depressed. Like, can you kind of dig a little bit deeper? Like, what was something that, you personally went through?
Well, when I was younger, I always wanted to hit certain weights and attempt certain things, and I didn't. And it would get me down. I would think that, I'm not training good, I'm not training hard enough, but I would never think of it as a mental breakdown because, if I go back 30 years, 40 years ago, mental illness was not a big thing. So it's now hitting hard right now.
Because nobody talked about it back then.
Back then, I think it existed. It's just nobody was really talking about it.
I didn't say it didn't exist.
Well,
it existed, but it never came out.
Yeah.
You never talked about it.
Yeah.
And the homeless problem wasn't as bad. It was bad, but it didn't come out like it is now. Mm-hmm. Because mental illness, it's rampant now. It's rampant. So you just try to work yourself out of it. You try, as far as I would try to work my way out of it. Mm-hmm. Because we all get depressed.
Yeah, we all do.
Hey, you know why I started lifting in the first place? Because it was a breakup. Breakups make bodybuilders.
Really? Breakups make bodybuilders.
Yep.
Yeah, and powerlifting the same way.
See, let's breakup makes bodybuilders.
Breakups make bodybuilders.
So what was it when you went through a breakup? The gym
High
was
school.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously for me, it was just like a way to relieve stress and, be productive in a positive way and not resort with like drugs or drinking. But after a while, I started feeling better. I started feeling myself, self-confidence, and the rest just followed. I stuck with it because of all the benefits that I was like starting to feel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true.
A young buck right there, man.
Little heartbreak hotel over there.
Exactly. I can't even remember
all
that.
this stuff driven by pain.
Oh, what was her name? What was her name? No.
Anyways, it's in the past.
No, but it's good. And like I said, it's one of those where it's better to reach out that outlet. Like I said, I think we've all been through certain things. I know me personally, I will probably say it too. When I hit my depression was when I woke up in jail from a DUI. Thanks, Mike. But you didn't know what the hell happened. I blacked out. I was all like, what? Woke up. Next thing you know, I was all like, man. And it was one of those, it was eye-opening.
You open my eyes right now.
Yeah. No. Hey, but on the real best.
Was you in the cell, man, sleep?
Yeah. But hey, best thing to ever happen to me. That was the best thing to ever happen to me because it straightened me out. And like I said, I could have stayed.
Sometimes you just got to hit your lows to get your highs.
I could have stayed stuck in a rut, but I feel like I just was like, you know what? I'm in this position. I did this to myself, and I'm gonna get out of it. And one of those things is, like I said, the gym helped me out. But all of a sudden, I started being focused on my career. I started getting driven. At the time, I was at 24 Hour Fitness. Within 2 years, got promoted. Within 2 years, got promoted to a bigger club. So to me, it was
a breaking point.
It was a breaking point. I always tell it that it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it made me realize I could hit a low. And I think when you're depressed, you are at a low, but the light is at the end of the tunnel. And it's how you perceive things. And so it's one of those where, trust me, I'm lighthearted about it too. I woke up in a jail cell not knowing where the hell I was at. And it sucked. I was just like, but one of the things is like, I'm either going to stay stuck in this rut that I put myself in, or I'm going to have to do something about it. Live with the consequences and know that tomorrow is still here. And that's the one thing I would always advise people is that when you are depressed, know that you're going to have some consequences to overcome, but tomorrow is still here. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, tomorrow will come.
Yeah, tomorrow will
the
come.
sun will rise because you know, like we're talking about, I was homeless at a point. But that's as far as you can go. You just pick yourself up and just keep moving.
Exactly.
Because the next day, tomorrow's going to come. regardless.
Exactly.
So like I
So
said,
if you're feeling down, man, maybe try to go for a run. Go do something. Just go move.
hey,
you know?
the day that the world will still be up the next day. Tomorrow will still be here.
Take it one day at a time.
Take it one day at a time, and just come to the realization there is a light at the end of the tunnel. All right. So I think that was a pretty good talk today, fellas.
Gems.
Yeah, look at that. You
Gems.
found out something about me,
Gems,
huh?
for sure. That got me shook.
Cisco. Hey,
I
that's-
did,
hey,
huh?
I thought I told you guys, but maybe I haven't.
No, you didn't say,
Yeah.
I woke up. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
So sorry, Dad, if this is the first time you're gonna hear about that, but my mom already knew. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for sharing this vulnerable time with us. We all had shared some things and facts with you guys, and we want you guys to know. Reach out for help if you need it. Know that the world is not over,
Right,
and
right.
you can do this if you put your mindset
Right.
to it. And like I said, you're not alone in all of this.
Yeah.
Remember, a
Yep.
mind is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Life is a beautiful thing.
So thank
know?
you guys.
You're right. Life is a beautiful thing.
It is. It is. So
Even,
thank you
even
guys.
at my age, man.
Man, can I cut on? Hey, jeez, Mike.
Let him wrap it up.
Let me wrap it up. I know. I was like,
Wrap
no,
it
your
up,
life
man.
is a
Wrap it
beautiful
up. Wrap it
thing.
up. Wrap it up.
So
Wrap it
thank
up.
you guys for sitting down, listening to us. We hope we catch you on the next episode. Once again, my name is Coach Cisco,
Coach Michael.
I'm Coach Kyle.
and we'll catch you guys on the next one.